The V8 Supercars Championship heads for its only flyaway round this weekend at Pukekohe for the ITM 500 Auckland race event. Let's now go and check out all the details you need to know for what will be a 4-race event. Let's have a look at the championship positions with the Coates Hire leaderboard. Craig Lowndes out front from Mark Winterbottom, Fabian Coulthard, James Courtney and Jamie Whincup. Some other notables: Lee Holsworth sitting in 9th after the victory at Winton, and Garth Tander all the way down in 17th. Let's have a look at the track schedule. It is a 3-day event with a difference because there is the race on Friday to mark Anzac Day, and that's a 35-lap race at 1:37 New Zealand time. So these are all Kiwi times we're quoting here. On Saturday there's another practice followed by the 2 quick-fire qualifying sessions, and then the races at 2:05 and 4:05, both 35 laps in length. On to Sunday, straight into qualifying at 1 p.m, and then the 70-lap race, that's 200 kilometres, that gets underway at 3:25 New Zealand time. In terms of the Channel 7 telecast details, you're all on 7 Mate on Friday, and in the Sydney and Melbourne, Brisbane areas, it's 10 a.m. to 12:30, Adelaide 9:30 and 8 a.m. over in Perth. On Saturday, you will need to be across which market you're in and what station to watch. In Sydney, it's on 7 Mate, 7 and 7.2 across from 10:30 till 3 p.m. Same time in Melbourne and Brisbane, but Melbourne is 7 Mate and Brisbane is Channel 7 only. Adelaide and Perth both on 7 Mate, and you've got to be up early in Perth because it's on from 8:30 in the morning. On to Sunday, and in Brisbane and Sydney, it's 7 Mate and 7 from 12 till 3. Then on 7 Mate in Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth. For high-definition replays, check out Speed at 5 p.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Now, the Sunday races, which will be replayed, aren't on until 8 a.m. Monday morning, and that's because of a very busy night of motorsport on the Speed Channel network. Now, let's have a look at the key facts for this race. It is a 4-race event. That's the first one for this year, and what that really means is less practice, and you really have to get on the job straight away, especially from Friday. Will Red Bull Racing Australia hit back? 2 races ago in Tasmania, they were untouchable between Jamie Whincup and Craig Lowndes, but then just a week later, they were absolutely nowhere at Winton. What will Pukekohe bring for this team? And Craig Lowndes himself has never won a race at Pukekohe. You can't go to Pukekohe without mentioning the Kiwi drivers. Fabian Coulthard very strong in the championship, Shane Van Gisbergen fast everywhere, and Scott McLaughlin won a race at Pukekohe last year, and he'd really like to do it as you look at the next key point, Nissan and Volvo. Nissan and Volvo yet to win a race this year, and after the Mercedes AMG of Lee Holsworth winning at Winton, who will be the next one, Nissan or Volvo? Volvo probably looking a little bit stronger based on McLaughlin's form at Pukekohe. This is the second time back at Pukekohe in the new guise after all those years in Hamilton. Now, the original Pukekohe event was dominated by Greg Murphy, and he became the king of Pukekohe. If one driver can sweep all 4 races this weekend, they might as well be called the king, but that'll be a very difficult proposition. There are 5 debutants at Pukekohe this weekend. Now, that's a pretty sizable number when you consider 25 cars will start the race. Robert Dahlgren, Nick Percat, Scott Pye, who was scheduled to race here last year but had a big accident in Tasmania the previous round and missed it, Dale Wood, and also Chaz Mostert.
It's not a brand new track to me. I know the layout, and I got to race on it with the new section too. So I think it's called the Bus Stop, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I definitely like the track, but I haven't been around in the supercar, so I think our car will probably be a bit nicer over the bumps there. It is quite a technical, bumpy track and quite a small circuit for a lap or lap time. So I'm pretty excited to get there in one of these, and hopefully we see how we go. It's kind of like a street track, but kind of not as well. So there's not a lot of room for error, but yeah, kind of looking forward to it. And yeah, our cars are getting better, so hopefully we can get up well inside the top 10 and give them a good run for their money. You've got to be on your game the whole time. You know, race 3 with the pit stops, you can afford to make a couple of mistakes here and you know, focus on strategy, getting you back to the front. But yeah, the 2 races on Saturday, you've got to qualify well. You've definitely got to be in that top 10 to 5, and you'll probably race around there. But it's kind of hard without the pit stops to try and make many positions. So you've got to be well up there in qualifying.
Let's now have a look at the market odds for the Anzac Day race, and despite his poor form at Winton, Jamie Whincup is the race favourite at $3.50, $1 up on teammate Craig Lowndes. The first of the Kiwis, Fabian Coulthard, $7.50, and also some good money there for the likes of Shane Van Gisbergen, also James Courtney. From that point forward, it really does push out quite a fair way. But if there's an absolute outside bet you want to make some money on, check out Jack Perkins, $751. I guess he'll be one of those drivers praying for rain. Let's now have a look at the market odds for the championship. Now, he might not have won the championship since 1999, but Craig Lowndes continues to be the firm favourite for this year's championship at $2.25. He is probably a bit of an emotional favourite for long-time fans who have him ahead of Red Bull Racing teammate Jamie Whincup at $3. It's then right out to $8 for reigning Ford Bathurst champion Mark Winterbottom and Kiwi Holden hero Fabian Coulthard. James Courtney heads the double-figure brigade at $13 and is followed by Shane Van Gisbergen at $19 and the new Volvo hero Scott McLaughlin, who has been the biggest mover since the season opener in Adelaide, is at $19. Pretty much the balance of the second half of the field is strung right out with James Moffat and beyond at $501. If you need more information on the V8s, check out the speedcafe.com form guide for this weekend's race at Pukekohe. Also, if you need a brain teaser, check out the Speedcafe Motorsport app, which is now live at speedcafe.com. Also, while you're on the site, have a look at the CrimSafe Talking Tech. The race action isn't just limited to Pukekohe. There's plenty happening around Australia and indeed across the world, with MotoGP and World Superbikes plus NASCAR back in action at Richmond. There's only one place to stay up to date with all your motorsport, and that's right here at speedcafe.com.